achieved.
What up? Welcome to Studio Day Jeffrey for Jeffrey Time, and today I want to start with what Dak Prescott really wants. This is a question that came from Ryan. Sorry, that was a 5-hour energy burp. He said, what's your opinion on the rumor that Dak wants a 3-year deal instead of a long-term deal? Could this be a Tom Brady-like discount so we can pay other players but short-term? Okay. Here is what Dak Prescott wants, and here's what's happening with a lot of players in the league. What's happening is, as my buddy Brian Broaddus told you yesterday, if you were listening to G-Bag Nation, 2 to 7 on 105.3 The Fan, what's happening is Broaddus was told by someone that would be in the know that there are people who think the salary cap in 2027 could be $425 million. So the salary cap right now is going to be right around $200 million somewhere. So in the course of 7 years, they're anticipating that it's going to more than double. So if quarterbacks right now are getting $35 million for Russell Wilson, then 7 years from now, it's not impossible that quarterbacks are going to be getting $70 million. And maybe more, because the quarterback's percentage of the cap is actually going up faster than the cap is right now. So you may have $70 million a year players, which sounds crazy, but welcome to sports. What sounds crazy soon becomes not crazy. So what's going on with Dak and the Cowboys? The Cowboys, what they want to do is lock Dak Prescott into a deal that is long-term, say 6 years. I'm throwing around numbers that I don't know for sure. But what they want to do is get Dak locked in, and let's say they make the concession. All right, here's $36, $37 million a year. You're the highest paid player in the NFL because you're a quarterback and it's your turn, and that's the way it goes, right? Let's say they do that. They want to have that for 6 years. Now, when does guaranteed money run out on that? Usually around 3 years, maybe 3.5. So then what the team really has is 3 years where it's a team option. I could cut you, I could trade you, I could do anything and not take a cap hit. This money is no longer guaranteed, and you can't get a raise. So Dak and a lot of other NFL players right now, they know that the next CBA, that's where the salary cap is going. So they don't want to be locked into where the team has the right to tell you, oh, yeah, sure, you can still have your same salary from 3-4 years ago. They want to be out from under that contract and on to the next one. So that's what they're going to fight over, is the amount of guaranteed money, the number of years, because he knows that 3 or 4 years from now, quarterbacks are going to be getting $50 or $60 million because that's where the cap's going to go. And he'll be sitting there getting 36 from the Cowboys, watching other quarterbacks maybe double his salary. So Dak's not trying to play that game, or I should say CAA and Todd France are not trying to play that game. His agency and the Cowboys would love to play that game. Excuse me. So that's what's really going on with Dak Prescott. The Cowboys are trying to get one over on the guy, which, whatever, you can pull for whichever side of this you want. The owners did a great trick with the salary cap to turn us against the players, so I refuse to buy into that. But you will hear me talking about running backs and team building and where you should spend your money, so it's all part of the conversation, thanks to the genius of the owners creating a salary cap. Jackson Williams said, can we get a breakdown of the bookshelf? What's the book big board looking like? Yes. Not right now, because I've got more pressing Cowboy and NFL issues to get to in this video. But maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, I'll do a one-off where we'll go through the bookshelf. I'll give you recommendations if you're a nerd like me. A lot of not sci-fi, but fantasy, detective novels, things of that nature. I got some stuff back there. Self-help books. But anyway, we move past that for now. Just make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. Turn on the notifications, the little bell thing, so you don't miss a video. Let's see here. Ryan actually had 2 questions. Oh, and he's a Dutch Cowboy fan here. Hello, Dutch. Nice to see you. After the Combine, how do you feel about trading up or down in any round? For which player? This is a cheater question, and here's my cheater answer. You got to tell me who's on the board. If you get to 17 and CeeDee Lamb or Henry Ruggs or Jerry Jeudy's on the board, I want to pick them. That's what I want to do. If Javon Kinlaw's on the board and you get a positive medical report, I want to pick him. C.J. Henderson, I'm comfortable with picking. Florida cornerback. If I'm looking at my best players available being Christian Fulton and Grant Delpit and offensive tackles, I want to move down. And tell me what happens from 10 to 15. Is there somebody there that maybe I want to move up? Does Okudah fall down somehow? Does Isaiah Simmons fall down somehow? Derek Brown had an atrocious combine. Does Derek Brown fall down? What if Derek Brown made 17? He ran like an 8.2 second three-cone. That's bad. That's like Orlando Brown, Oklahoma offensive tackle combine bad. But I will trust the tape on him, which actually leads me to another, what I thought was a really good question. Wrath89. He says, dang, Jeff, just from hearing you talk about A.J. Epenesa, Iowa defensive end, I'm surprised you're giving up on him after the combine. Is trusting the tape more important when it comes to alignment or combine scores? I guess you would argue both. So here's what the combine's for. Find the things at each position that more often than not correlate with NFL success. What we're trying to do is just eliminate bad risk. That's what you're trying to do, especially with a first-round pick. Make A.J. Epenesa fall to 51, and then on the strength of his tape, I'll pick him. But at 17 or in the first round, when you're looking at edge rushers, ideally you can get that three-cone time under 7 seconds. That means they got bend. That means they can go, right? And I'm going to compare it to Jerry Jeudy. He tested in the 22nd percentile of athleticism for wide receivers at the combine since 1999. So technically you would call him a bad athlete for a wide receiver. But the things that he struggled with, like he gets dinged for his height and weight when it comes to that, and then his short shuttle is what pulls him down, his short shuttle. Now, does not having a good short shuttle spell doom for wide receivers in the NFL? Nope, it does not. Does not having a good three-cone spell doom for edge rushers? Not doom, but it does make it a much lower percentage that you're going to pick a good pass rusher if he doesn't have that sort of ability. So when you're watching Epenesa on film, you're like, man, I really like the heavy hands. I really like that he can play the run. I really like the effort. There's a lot I like here. But in my notes over and over, it's like, don't really think he can turn the corner. Don't really think he can turn the corner. So now you get against NFL offensive tackles, and there'll be some bad ones, so he'll get some sacks. But you get against offensive tackles, and if you couldn't turn the corner in college, you're not turning the corner in the NFL, so you're going to be a power player. Do I want to pick a power player in the top 17? I don't. So I want to eliminate that risk and say, you know what? If somebody else picks him in the top 20, top 25, and it turns out that he can be a 10-sack-a-game guy in the NFL, then I missed. My bad. But I'll let somebody else be that hero, and I'll pass. Whereas Jerry Jeudy, okay, so his short shuttle wasn't good. So in theory, you're not changing direction and stopping and starting very well. But on his tape, he's uncoverable. And he played against a lot of guys that are going to be NFL corners, and he torched every one of them. So I'm not worried about that because I don't have negative notes on that. Is it worth noting when you're talking about picking him? Sure. But he ran in the 4.4s. He's an incredible route runner. You know who was an awful athlete with his, I believe it was combine, if not it was pro day numbers? Antonio Brown is an awful athlete for an NFL receiver, according to testing. But what is he? He's a route runner. And he finds his way to get behind people. And, you know, Jeudy is faster than Antonio Brown tested. If you're a great route runner, you're going to be okay. And Jerry Jeudy's a great route runner. And I'll even just call the test a liar. He's quick. He's fast and he's quick. And he knows how to turn people in circles and make them fall down. So I'm not worried about Jerry Jeudy. He should still be a top 15 pick. But Epenesa, his workout matched his tape. And the 5.140, if I were Epenesa's agent, you know what you're going to run, or you know in the ballpark, I wouldn't have run. If Jerry Jeudy just hadn't done a short shuttle, nobody would talk. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I've seen him play. He's awesome. But with Epenesa, now you know that he's a 5.140 guy, that he's not a big-time change of direction guy. He's a power player. I'd take him. I want him on my NFL football team, but I wouldn't do that in the first round. Bobby, I know you're a team builder. This is Bobby Shuley. I know you're a team builder at heart. Can you go over the probable free agent losses and some hypothetical comp picks attached to those guys with the idea we can use those as future picks as trade-up currency for this draft? Thanks. Well, this year they should get a 5th-round pick for Cole Beasley. Now, looking at the guys who are about to leave, if Byron Jones leaves, I bet you that gets you a 3rd-round comp pick because I bet you he gets $15 million or more per year. So that's probably a 3 if Byron Jones leaves. Let's see what kind of deal Malik Collins gets on the open market, but he'll probably get you a 5th, maybe even a 4th, depending on how much. That's all it is. It's based on how much was their contract worth with their new team. So, yes, you'll get a comp pick if Byron Jones walks. Amari Cooper, obviously, if he walks. Randall Cobb, maybe, depending on what he got paid. Malik Collins, maybe. I'm going around the diamond here. So, Byron. Heath, no. He probably won't make a lot of money. Offense, we've gone Cooper and him. Offensive line is still here. Every other receiver is still here. No other guy's going to get big money. So that's probably the names that you need. Robert Quinn, if he leaves, probably a 4th-round comp pick. And those are canceled out. If you go sign players that make that much money, it does cancel out. That's how that formula works. Let's see here. Hey, Jeff, watching from New Zealand. We are worldwide, baby. Watching from New Zealand. If K'Lavon Chaisson, the LSU edge rusher, tears up his pro day, do you think he would be the ideal pick at 17, considering the lack of edge depth later on? Would love to pair him with Tank and see what they could do. Maybe put the money reserved for Quinn towards Byron Jones and draft Chaisson. Chaisson will be the wild card because there's only one pass rusher in this draft that I feel great about, and that's Chase Young. Zach Bond, I think, is going to be a good pass rusher, but I don't know how many teams are going to be comfortable actually playing him at edge. I think he'll have to be a linebacker who rushes the passer on 3rd down. And then Chaisson, like, you don't have great production. You don't have a history of production in college. But what you do have is the body type and a guy that looks like he's very athletic. Didn't test at the combine. So, yeah, if his pro day he runs a 6'7" 3-cone and 4.6 40 with a good 10-yard split, then – yeah, I think he becomes the 2nd pass rusher in this draft class. And it's not one that I like. I can't, there's too many of them that I don't trust. A lot of guys you could pick in the 2nd or 3rd round. Uchi at Michigan, Anai at Utah, Lewis at Alabama. Like there are quite a few guys that you're looking at and you're like, okay, I see the tools where maybe I can turn you into a good NFL pass rusher. But the guy that I'm sold on, there's only one. It's a pretty weak edge class, at least according to this guy being me. Hurricane Teabag, 40 burgers or Whataburgers, 40 burgers. And I like Whataburger, but I'd much rather score 40 points a game than have a double cheeseburger from Whataburger. Brett, you're a 40 burger guy. Would you rather have Henry Ruggs in the 1st and AJ Terrell or Cameron Dantzler in the 2nd, or CJ Henderson in the 1st and Denzel Mims or Michael Pittman in the 2nd? Oh, I'd take either combination. That'd be lovely. I think, man, what's the bigger drop-off? Mims has the potential to be a star. Pittman, I really like. I don't know if he has star potential, but I think he could be a good number 2 receiver. Ruggs has the potential, because people don't talk about this a lot because it's just like, oh, he's fast. Ruggs can go get the football. He's got really good hands. He's not tiny. Ruggs could have Tyreek Hill type impacts on NFL games. So I think I would go for Ruggs and then whatever corner you end up with in the 2nd round there. Dantzler ran a 4.64. That scares me. I've tied my wagon and trusted the tape on corners who run 4.6 or worse, and it's a bad track record. So I'd probably still pick him at the end of the 2nd or the 3rd round because I've watched Dantzler lock up Jamar Chase, watched him cover Devontae Smith at Alabama. I've seen him play against really good players and play well, but you are taking a risk because 40s are important for a corner. If you are slow, you can be in trouble. Kevin, the difference between a 1st-round grade and a 2nd-round grade, what exactly do you look for? Top 10 pick, I'm looking for a guy that I think is going to go to a bunch of Pro Bowls. 1st-round grades for me are step-in starters that I think have Pro Bowl potential. And 2nd-rounders at that point, I'm looking at guys that I think are NFL starters and maybe not on day 1, but hopefully as the year goes along, they can become a starter, and guys that I think are NFL starters. And then 3rd round and below is where you start looking for traits. This guy's a great athlete, and I can turn him into a pass rusher. This guy is offensive line. He's a great pass blocker, but he's a little light in the butt. So you're looking for traits that you like that you can develop to hopefully become a future starter. Let me see here. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to call it a day. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page. Make sure in the comments you leave what you want to talk about tomorrow. I still have some left over. And I will try to get you a look at the my bookshelf big board later on tonight. Check 1053thefan.com every day. You know what you're doing. See you on the radio.